over to Nakuru, where Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula is currently addressing at the STEM Hotel. Our reporter Joanne Letting is there, but let us just listen in live to what he is saying.
We know that your big four agenda includes food security. How are you going to achieve food security if you don't support the farmer? The maize farmers have not been paid. The maize is still in their galleries. The cane farmers have not been paid. The cane on the fields is rotting. And all manner of things are happening everywhere. Mr. President, crack the whip. Anybody you gave a job that is not doing that job, there are another 45 million Kenyans you can consider to put in those positions to do work and support Kenyans. The third point I want to touch to is what you are seeing going on in the country. We as Ford Kenya believe that the handshake between President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga was to bring peace, bring calm, bring a lull, and bring better hygiene in the politics of the country. Unfortunately, the politics of Kenya is again taking a wrong trajectory. There's too much name calling, there's too much shouting at each other, there's too much talking at each other, and this is not good for the country. I want to advise Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga and DP William Ruto, tuliza boli bwana. Wakenya wanataka kuona tunazungumzia mambo ya kusaidia nchi. Tone down. Nyinyi kama viongozi at our level tukaanza kutukanana ovyo ovyo kila siku kwa vyombo vya habari, wananchi wa kawaida watasema nini? We want to see your energies focused on what cost us to fight at every election. Never mind who wins. How do we get Kenyans to go to elections and emerge with everybody satisfied, everybody happy? How do we reform our electoral system? How do we bring more equity? How do we clean up the country and get rid of corruption? How do we get women mainstreamed in the politics and life of this country? How do we inculcate our youth to know that their position is transient and they must mark time and work with others to reach the future? How do we get our environment better? How do we resist Somalia wanting to take our maritime boundary? Those are the things that worry Kenyans. How do we help the farmer? Not two senior leaders shouting at each other. And my party here has said, and loudly so, that we want proper political hygiene in our country. And political hygiene is not about Raila shaking hands with Uhuru and ending there. We want handshakes to cascade anywhere and everywhere and bring Kenyans together. Together, this country can go places. Divided, this country will go nowhere. Lastly, we as Ford Kenya have said before to you as media that we want a relook at the 2010 Constitution. We have reiterated that position again as chairman of all our 47 branches and the national leadership, that President Uhuru Kenyatta should take the tranquil situation in the country and move quickly and get the country on a footing that will make things better for our electoral system and above all for our governance in the country. We support, and we have said so before, a return to a parliamentary system, a mixed proportion system that will bring women into positions of leadership, because we have tried. The bill about gender has collapsed 4 times in Parliament. And the stupidity is doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results every time you do it. We must now change tact and see how have countries...
Ford Kenya party leader there, Moses Wetangula, of course, saying various issues pertaining the nation. For instance, the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, which we marked the 1-year anniversary yesterday, saying it was meant to bring in peace. But he's calling upon the Deputy President William Ruto and Raila Odinga to tone down and stop all the name calling.